Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Moose Lodge here in Raynell, West Virginia, guys. We are super excited to get this thing underway. I'm Matthew Thomas.
I'm Roger Bennett.
And we're about to get this thing underway. We got all the players over here to the side. They're getting ready to get themselves some dinner this evening, get themselves nourished for our game tomorrow against Liberty Raleigh and Glenville. So it's going to be a good game. Cavaliers coming into the game at 1-1 and Liberty Raleigh coming in at 0-2. But real quick, we're going to go ahead and get into our sponsors. Raynell Medical Center, excellent health care right at home. Park Center Sporting Goods, Steve's Towing, I won't charge an arm or a leg, all I want is a tow. RT Rogers Oil Company, Tattered and Worn Antique Mall in Lewisburg, and Stevens Automotive in Lewisburg with associates Caleb Ward, Eddie Mitchell, Eric Workman, Chase Barton, and Garrett Schaefer. So, Roger, are you excited to get into this game tomorrow, man?
I'm super excited. And I'll tell you what, I want to take a second and be like, this is amazing what the Raynell Moose Lodge does for this team. This is top-notch. The food smells amazing. The pregame dinner that they have prepared for these young men is second to none. Wow, thank you so much to the Raynell Moose Lodge. Guys, this is awesome.
It really is. And it's one thing for them to do this for the kids, but what they do is boosting team morale, and it's letting the kids know that, hey, there's people outside of the school that care about you guys and want to see you win games. And that's what really matters at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Team culture is number one.
Yes.
And this is one of the biggest team culture builders that you can have is everybody breaking bread together, saying the prayer before the meal. It's first class.
Exactly. And you can't really beat anything about it. But we're going to go ahead and get into one of our lovely ladies coming in this evening. We're going to do a little bit of an interview with her this evening.
Have a sit down there, young lady.
Let's do this thing. So, first things first, what has it meant to you for you guys to have done this for the kids the last couple of years here at the Raynell Moose Lodge?
I enjoy it very much. I like kids. I like ball games.
Heck yeah.
I love ball games. I haven't got to go to one yet because I'm always here on Friday night.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you guys are putting in so much work that, to be honest with you, there's almost not even time for you guys to be able to make it to the games because y'all are so busy helping the kids here.
Yeah. Well, I never get to go to a game. I've never been to one. I ain't been to a Meadowbridge game either.
Well, you can stream the game live right here at the Moose Lodge for everybody to watch.
We did.
We
did the last one, yes. We watched the last one on the TV.
Did you enjoy that?
Absolutely.
Good deal. We love to hear that.
What are some moments so far over the season that you've enjoyed watching the kids? Because I know that you get to see them on the field whenever they're on TV. But what is one thing that has really stood out to you of having all these kids here in this cafeteria room?
The nicest, politest boys I've ever met. They always thank us for the food. They're always thank you. And they're just real nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we love to hear that. We not only do you want to build young athletes, but at the end of the day, you're building young men. And
yes.
It does my heart good to know that these guys are not only good young athletes, but great young men that are polite. They have their manners. You can't say enough about the Cavalier football team, really.
Oh, they're great. I love them. I love them to come in anytime. They can come in and shoot pool anytime back here.
And that's one thing I was talking to Roger earlier before the stream started and everything. We was talking about early in how all the kids come in here, and it means a lot more to the kids than just coming in here, getting a bite to eat. They're able to bond as a team. They're able to see that not only the coaches, the players, which is their peers, and their teachers care about them, the community cares about them as well. It means so much to these kids for you guys to be able to provide this establishment. And you guys don't have to do stuff like this.
We don't have to do it. We enjoy doing it. It's all for the kids. It's our future out there.
That's right. And at the end of the day, these kids, every single one of them is going to be at some place of employment, whether it's them going to college, whether it's them getting a job right after high school. It doesn't matter. And every one of these kids is going to remember this. There's not a single one of them that's going to forget this.
Yeah, I run into them every now and then. They say hi, and I'm like, okay, do I know you? Because I see them out.
Yeah, and definitely hard to remember all the faces.
Yes, it is
And
hard
it's
to
hard
remember
for
all
us
of them.
to see them out of uniform because we're used to looking at numbers and it's tough. So we're getting to know the faces a little better now, seeing them out of their uniform, which is another cool thing. But you touched on what these kids do, what they play for. They play for their school, they play for their coaches, they play for their parents. This gives them one more reason to go out and do their absolute best because they know people like you that take care of them, pregame meal. You're watching them.
Yeah,
and that
I'm
means a
watching
lot
them.
to these guys.
And
it really does.
Like I say, that they're our future right there.
Well, your future's
what
looking
we-
pretty good.
It is looking good, yes.
Especially on the pool table.
Yes, exactly. Who knows? We may have some future professional pool table players. You never know.
Absolutely. You never know. Somebody, Greenbrier County had a really good pool player years ago, Chan Witt, guy I went to school with, played in world events. And, his life was snuffed out a little bit too early, but he was a great pool player from Greenbrier County, West Virginia. And who would have thought?
I learn something new from you every day, Roger, I swear.
I'm glad I can be a plethora of knowledge.
Exactly. So if there's one thing, I'm going to ask you two questions here, but I'm going to lead you into them, so don't worry. The first one is, what is one thing that you want the kids to know and learn about the Raynell Moose Lodge as they graduate, especially the seniors? What is one thing that you want them to carry with on the rest of their lives? One thing that you want them to remember?
With them, but the Moose is really about kids and supporting kids and taking care of kids. We have homes with kids that we raise and stuff, and everything goes to those to support the kids.
And
And that's my future right there.
you want your future to be taken care of.
Members.
My future Moose members, I love it. You really can't beat anything about that. And the second thing, this will be a little bit more business related. So you guys, as a running healthy business in the community of Raynell, what is one thing that you want the community to know that you guys support, not only for the kids, but maybe things outside? Because I know there's several organizations that you guys help.
Yes, we support the Humane Society, the food bank over here, God's Way up there. And if we have any food left, it always goes up to God's Way when we get through.
Yeah, these guys don't know how to throw away food, which is a good thing.
They don't throw away food. But yeah.
And we love that, and we love food, and that's a
Yes.
big part of football. Is food. You can't go to a football game without going to the concession stand, and you can't have a great football game without a good pregame meal. And there's a lot of football teams that have a pregame meal. They have this ritual they do before every game. Some of them it's at a parent's house, some of them it's at the school, some of them the Moose Lodge. I'm telling you what, this is a great venue.
Yes, it is. Well, I'll ask you one more thing and I'll let you go throughout your day. So what is one thing else that you want to leave with everybody watching that maybe they don't think about when they think of the Moose Lodge? What is one thing that you want them to appreciate about you guys?
Well, we're here for you. We help kids if they need help or something. We help the community if they need help or anything. We're just out there to help them. That's what we do.
So help and the Moose Lodge go hand in hand,
Absolutely.
and we love to hear that.
Especially about the kids. I mean, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, Halloween, we're always there for them.
And it seems like more and more kids and more families need help in the times we're in now. So my hat's off to what you guys do. We appreciate it.
Yes.
The kids appreciate it. And go Cavaliers, right?
Let's do it. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sweetheart.
And she's going to go and feed the 50 gazillion kids that we have still left in this room.
The entire football team is getting their eat on right now, and they look happy.
Yes, they do. I was going to say, you're not going to see a much hungrier group of kids than a group of football players inside of a cafeteria, Roger.
Absolutely. And it's the quietest group of kids I've ever seen when they have food in front of them. I'm going to throw that out there.
No, it honestly
They're
is.
definitely enjoying that food, and it absolutely smells great. I wish we could bring the smell through the camera to you guys, but wow, it smells delicious.
Yeah. On the bright side, though, one thing we are going to do is get as close to the players as we possibly can. So here in just a little bit, we're going to be interviewing some of the players and the coaches. But beforehand, we're going to get into a little bit of pregame stuff that we have here against Liberty Raleigh. So Liberty Raleigh starting out their season 0-2 to start the season, and Greenbrier West coming in at 1-1. So even record for West. Both of these teams have beat Summers County, which is able to give both of these teams a little bit of a look beforehand. Liberty Raleigh came out with a 42-point victory, and then Greenbrier West coming away with a 40-point victory. So 2-point margin right there. I know that's not everything that you can look at when you're looking at into a football game for the pregame, but still, at the end of the day, it gives you a little bit of an overhead look of what you're going to see between Greenbrier West and Liberty Raleigh.
Yeah, kind of.
I
agree with that, but that's last year's football game, and we don't know what Liberty Raleigh lost, and we don't know what they've gained.
Nope.
Just like they really don't know what Greenbrier West Cavaliers have lost and what they've gained in the offseason. So it's really, and if I'm not mistaken, isn't this the first meeting with these two teams?
It is, yes. So, this is the first meeting in school history between these two schools.
It's going to be a historic ball game. And I'm not sure how you prepare for a team you've never seen and a coach you've never seen, how his style of coaching. So
yes.
I'm hoping that Coach Goddard has got his hands on some game film that he can really analyze and make adjustments that he needs to make going into tomorrow night's game.
Exactly. One thing that Coach Rob used to talk to me about all the time whenever I was playing for him is he would always ask other coaches for their film, and then they would give him their film back. And then at the end of the day, it comes down to who studies film hardest, because there's only so much that the coaches can do with film. At the end of the day, kids have to go home, they need to study film themselves, and they need to learn what their strengths and weaknesses are, and they need to grow from that.
Right, and you don't want to complicate football up too much. Okay?
No, you don't.
So every time the ball's snapped, these guys have got to do their job. Every player on this team is like a bicycle spoke in a wheel. Okay, if you got one guy that misreads something or doesn't do his job, that makes for a little bumpier ride. You get 2 or 3 guys, then you know what? That's a real rough ride. So hopefully these guys do their job, and the bicycle wheel, so to speak, runs smoothly.
Yes.
And they come away and make Liberty Raleigh 0-3, and Greenbrier West will prevail on this ball game.
Exactly. And to get into a little bit of a injury report, so far, to my knowledge, the only player that is injured for this week is still Cannon Sams. He mentioned earlier that he was hoping to be back by week 6. I believe I heard originally it was week 5, so we're looking at week 6 for his timetable of return for his broken collarbone. So we'll have 3 more weeks without Camden, unfortunately. But for the whole second half of the season, that's going to be a huge piece, as he is a senior coming in at 5'8", about 140 pounds. So he's going to be a huge asset for the Cavaliers and one of their senior leaders in the locker room.
Absolutely, and he contributes to the game.
Yes, he does.
It's not just another senior on the roster. This guy makes a play. You know, he's hungry for a play. He's hungry to make a difference in the ball game, and that's what you want to see in a young man that especially with an injury. It's so easy for these guys to just give up when they face an injury and say, "Yeah, you know what? I'm just done." But he's wanting to come back next year or halfway through this season and make the best of it, instead of saying, "You know what? Maybe next year." So
exactly.
And you love that competitive attitude that I'm going to get back out there and work hard to do that. So I think he's going to make a huge difference down the stretch in this season.
Exactly. And you may wonder why I just kicked the table right there. It's because we're going to get into our first little section of player interviews right here. So let's go ahead and roll with it. Oh, he's kicking? Oh, okay. Good deal. And also, we just got a little bit of a player update. Camden is going to be playing this weekend. He's only going to be kicking, correct? Yes, we do have that confirmed. So he is going to be back. He just won't be playing at his full capacity, but that's still good to at least see him on the field. So.
Oh, absolutely. You always want to see the guys come back, and if he can come back early, that just shows the grit and toughness that this kid has. So we're looking forward to seeing him on the field. So he is out looking to grab one of the players to interview, and here he comes. He has put the pool stick down, and he's coming up for the interview.
Well, heck, that works out one way.
Wow.
let's go.
And the Cavaliers shirt on. And
Yeah. Alrighty, guys, we got
Rocking the
Shane
Spirit
Plugger right
pack.
here with us this evening. Well, one thing that was funny, I was going to interview you over here, and you were like, hey, I want the big table. I don't blame you.
Might as well. You're going to be on the big stage all year, right?
So, Shane, coming in your junior year, what's one thing that you've been excited for and looking forward to so far at the start of this Cavaliers season?
Hopefully to make a better record than we have last year, being 5-5. Do as much as I can at corner and stop their pass game and hopefully some of their run game. Help get us back to being a playoff team like we was before.
So, one thing over the past couple weeks, and I don't want to bring this up anymore because I think you'll redeem yourself this week. You've had a couple of really, really close fumbles where the team on kickoff returns has had the ball, they dropped it, and you slid in against last week against Summers County, and then the week before as well against Roan. You were that close to recovering those kickoff return fumbles. What's one thing you think you're going to be able to do to get yourself ready and to be able to pounce on those balls coming for this week 3?
Just hopefully to get a faster reaction time at it and try to become a better football player overall.
One thing I've noticed about your playing is you have great football sense. Okay, you read it and you react really, really quick. Is that something you practice, or is that just a natural God-given ability?
I think it's just a natural thing playing basketball because I didn't start football until my freshman year.
Really?
And I just worked at it over the summer as much as I could, working on flipping my hips for basketball because they rely on me on defense a lot. So I try to be a defensive player as much as I can.
Awesome. And you know what? Defense wins championships, right?
Yes.
So I got to ask, are you falling in love with football a little more than basketball now, or are you right down the middle?
I'm working on football more than I am basketball right now. And then once basketball comes, I'll work on it. But I want to focus on football and get back to being a playoff team.
Awesome. Sounds good. I don't think anybody's rooting for you harder than the guys in this community at the Moose Lodge, your coaches. So we definitely want to see a playoff team from the Cavaliers this year.
Sir.
So in preparation for this week, did you guys do anything different this week to prepare for Liberty Raleigh?
No, sir. Practice same.
Okay.
Conditions. Got ready for them.
Just keep your nose to the grind. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm looking at, yeah. So that's amazing.
It really is. One thing that we haven't seen quite as much at the beginning of this season is the passing attack. Now, we know West has always been a run-first offense. We've always been a hard-nosed, ground-and-pound team. Do you think we might see a little bit more passing this week against Liberty Raleigh possibly?
I think it'll be about the same. We'll still pass some, but I think we'll stick to running the ball. I think we'll stick to running.
It's our identity. That's really what matters at the end of the day, is being able to stick to that. And like Roger was saying earlier, and he said it many times in the broadcast, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I completely agree with
If
that.
you're gaining yards and winning ball games, hey, keep running it. You know, when I was coaching, my theory was always, I'm going to run it till they stop it, and then I'm going to run something else till they stop that.
Yes, sir.
It's just a common sense football approach to that. I love what you guys are doing. Last week versus first week, what was the climate like on the sidelines, in the huddle? What was the attitude like on first week versus last week?
Well, I'd say first week we went in a little scared to play against them. And after we got to playing them, we kind of settled down, and then we just lost all momentum. But I'd say that coming in the second week, we was more focused and ready to play and have a better football knowledge and had everybody on page.
Right. Yeah, it was just an unfortunate draw to play the runner-up state champions from last year in your opening game of the season. That's always a tough thing to do. But you know what? You go up there, you do what you got to do, and then you don't live in that moment. You put it in your rearview mirror and you move. You look ahead to the next game.
Yes, sir.
You got to have a short memory in football, right?
Yes, sir.
So
I'm going to ask you one more thing before we let you off the hook. What is one thing that you're doing to work on your game, whether it's through basketball, football, or even track, whether you're running this year or not? What is one thing that you're focusing on to make yourself better? Inside the weight room, outside the weight room, to make yourself better?
I'd say staying in the weight room as much as I can and getting quicker and conditioning myself as much as I can.
I love it, man. Well, Shane, I appreciate it, brother.
we appreciate it.
Guys, that was
Thank
Shane
you so
Plogger
much.
Jr. of Greenbrier West. Roger, you talk to them for about half a second. I'm going to go grab our next victim.
Absolutely. He's going to go grab another Cavalier ball player to come up and do an interview. If he can find one that wants to put his plate down. Man, this food smells amazing. And I said it a little while ago. It'd be great if you guys at home could smell this. I think they're having lasagna tonight, and it smells amazing. I'm getting hungrier by the minute just smelling this food. I've always kind of been a lasagna fan anyway, and we have some great people preparing the food for this football team. Wow, what an atmosphere this is. I wish you guys could be here and see this, see the players interacting, enjoying their meal. What a great venue this is at the Moose Lodge.
You good? All right.
Welcome.
That's a great grand entrance. Oh, gosh. So, guys, right here, this is Ty Pate, senior at Greenbrier West. Ty, you excited? Same thing. Same thing.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no. I actually said junior, but because you hit, or senior, but because you hit your head. Yeah. Anyways. So, Ty, dude, are you excited coming in with a lot of expectations coming into this season against Liberty? We got a lot to look forward to in week 3 because, I mean, we're 1-1 right now. We really, really need this win so that way we can establish ourselves, go on with our first winning record in a while, to be quite frank with you. What's one thing that you're working for to get yourself ready for this week?
Well, they have a pretty good quarterback, and he's pretty big, so I'm going to be really focused on staying low and making full contact with his hips and just staying low.
This kid's not afraid to hit if you hadn't noticed. So,
absolutely. And, you know, this is where the textbook tackle comes in, right? The low man wins, hit hard, wrap up, and you have to do the fundamentals, especially against a good ball player, somebody that can move the ball. You know, we have a great quarterback that can run the ball.
Yes, sir.
And the only way to get him down is not to hit him high. You got to hit him low. So did you guys practice that extra this week as far as hitting low, or?
Well, sir, not really, but we did talk a lot about it, and when we was going through scout team and all that, we all made sure that we would mimic going and hitting low because obviously we can't hit our starting quarterback.
Right.
So that's what we did. We did a lot of film on that too.
One thing I noticed on the defensive side of the ball is you guys. It's not just one guy making the tackle. Typically, you guys swarm to the ball. And that's what
I noticed that as well, yes.
That's what it takes to beat a good football team or somebody with an exceptional runner or quarterback that's a dual threat.
Yes, sir.
Is that something you guys practice, the swarm tackling?
Yes, sir. It's preached. Greenbrier West football has always been, keep your head up and somebody wraps somebody's ankles up, be a brother and go knock somebody's head off.
Right.
So
I'm kind of glad I don't have the ball.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. And that, you know what? And it sounds like your coaches are teaching you guys exactly the right way to do things. It's up to you guys to go out and execute. Never having seen Liberty, I'm sure you guys had some game film.
Oh, yes, sir. We watched a ton.
But never having played them before, do you go into this game a little anxious or a little nervous, or do you go in this game with just a killer attitude?
Killer attitude. They've never seen us before, and we've never seen them before, and it's all about who has a harder head and who gets up fastest.
So you're going to give them about a 48-minute lesson on Greenbrier West Cavalier football, right?
Lord willing, yes, sir.
We love to hear that, absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I got you. So, one thing that this team has done really good at, especially over recent years, is stopping the run. So, looking at Liberty, as you mentioned, their quarterback, and they got a couple receivers as well. Nothing insane and nothing we haven't seen. Almost kind of like a Pendleton is what they reminded me of. But because they got that one receiver that's really, really good. Pendleton had I believe his number was number 3. He had like 8 reception against us in the preseason. What is one thing you guys are going to do to limit not only his dual threat to keep the run game at a minimum, but also to stop any of their big wide receivers from making any big moves?
Well, in the run game, I can make a promise we'll swarm to the football just like Greenbrier West always does. But in the pass game, our corners got to stay grounded and they got to keep their hips flipping, and we just got to have great attitude every single play. The next best play is the next play is the best play is what our coaches say, and we need to stay low.
I love that. And one more thing before I'll let you get out of here. what is one thing that you've been telling yourself and the rest of your teammates in the locker room? Because I know, in all seriousness, you're a junior, but you're one of the leaders as well. That's what you are. And you've taken on that role not only through the way you've played, but also the way you're more vocal in the locker room. You don't tell guys that, oh, I'm just going to lean back and I'm going to let the guys do whatever they want to do. No. You tell them, hey, this is what we're doing this week. This is what's going to happen. And you push them towards success. What's one thing that you're telling your teammates in the locker room to get them ready for week 3?
Well, we just got to come with great attitudes, and we gotta go to the football, and we got to stay mean. There's been a couple of times this year where we wasn't really mean. We kind of backed off, and we got to line up where we're supposed to, and we got to stay focused, and we got to get meaner.
That's right. I love to hear it, man. Well, Roger, if you got anything else for him, I'm going to go grab our next guy.
The only thing I got to say is you have to win every snap, right? Be prepared every snap, win every snap. And if you do that, and instead of playing for the game, but playing for that snap and that play, you win that play. One play at a time, you win the ball game, right?
Yes, sir.
Ty Pate, my pleasure. Go get him. We'll be on the sidelines with you. Bless you. So he goes looking for another Cavalier victim to bring up here and put in front of the camera and ask some hard questions, some easy questions. And we are scouting the cafeteria here, looking for another Cavalier to bring on the camera. What a great venue this is. The Moose Lodge in Raynell does an amazing job for these young athletes. If you could see the camaraderie here, I'm a big fan of team culture. I think it starts with team culture, and you build from there. And these guys are eating in here like family, and that's exactly what you want to see. He is looking for another victim. We don't have one at this time, but here at the Greenbrier Valley Channel, you know we're going to pull somebody out of the crowd. And I think he's zeroing in on Coach Goddard. Absolutely. He's talking to Coach Goddard. He's trying to talk him into coming on camera. We're hoping that he can convince him to come up and maybe share some of the little secrets that they had this week on preparation for Liberty Raleigh. So,
We good? All righty.
yeah. So Coach Goddard will make his way up to the table, and we'll have some questions for him.
Yeah, he's coming over here in just a second, finishing,
What
throwing
do you
away
think
his
about
stuff.
the big moose head, Matthew? That is,
It's cool.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I didn't have to drag that thing out of the woods. 'Cause
We need a daggone Cavalier hat.
yeah,
a little
I would-
Cavalier hat
we
for
would have
that
took
thing.
the whole Cavalier team to drag that thing out of the woods.
Coach, yes, sir.
And here
The
is
man in the middle.
Coach Mike Goddard.
The man in the
Cav-
middle.
The man of the hour here today. Coach, good to see you. Great win last week. A commanding win. And I think that was what you guys needed after week one. Now, we don't want to talk a lot about week one, but after week one, what was the attitude going into Summers County?
Well, preparation-wise, we just went into it looking to improve what we do, not necessarily adjusting to the other team. We had to improve a lot of things that we did wrong in week one. It wasn't a game that you wanted to dwell on, but you wanted to learn some lessons from it, which I think we did.
Right.
And then, not to jump ahead completely here, but when you get to the end of that Summers County game, you can look back and say, well, a lot of people did a lot of things right there. I think that we improved in a lot of areas, and it was really a total team effort when you go back and look at all the contributions that we got, offense, defense, special teams.
Yeah, there wasn't just one guy contributing to that win. So, which brings me to my next question. What, if any, differences were there in preparing for week 2 versus preparing for Liberty Raleigh this week? Since you've never seen this team in person, never played them, this is a historic game as far as these schools meeting for the first time. What preparation differences, if any, were there from week 2 to week 3?
Well, I mean, we rely a lot on film study, and we've got some good looks at them. They had a really tough week 1 matchup with Doddridge County. It was a quality football team. And hey, you have to say they had a really tough week 2 matchup in Pikeview, a team now that's 2-0. But it was 2 teams that play different styles. Still able to get a good look at what Liberty did offensively on film. And you can kind of get a feel for that if you looked at them offensively. They're doing a lot of the same things that we are, a lot of the same concepts. So, without getting out of the box right there, you just kind of have to fine tune your guys right there to do the things that you're capable of and that you think you can get the most result from. And so that's what we do. And to be honest, we know what kind of things will give us trouble in practice when we're practicing, when we're running our offense. So, those, in theory, should be things that maybe would give them some trouble as well.
Correct. So, offensively, you guys are kind of similar. I think we can agree on. So, your defense is basically preparing for your offense with a little bit of. Did you change anything, and obviously we can't reveal all the secrets, but do you change your game scheme from week to week, or?
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that our package is big. Our entire package is big, but we may not use the entire package from week to week. When you look at what another team, what they do, what areas you think that you can attack, then you probably try to maximize those parts of your game plan and those parts of your playbook. And I think that's what we do. I think Coach Osborne does a great job in film study. We have a coaches chat where everybody bounces things off of each other.
Right.
It's a constant discussion all week, morning, noon, and night. Hey, did you see this? Look at this play number on, whatever huddle. Do you think we can do this? What if we switched these two in personnel? Just a lot of little tweaks, but nothing. There are no wholesale changes, and I don't think that you look at the defense and just completely change what you do. You just look at the defense and say, man, what do we do well that will work against them? And I think that's what Coach Osborne is really good at.
Absolutely. So brings me to my final question, and I'm going to let Matthew kind of hound you a little bit here. But what do you perceive from Liberty Raleigh's offense that is your biggest threat?
Well, their quarterback is a big, strong kid. I think he's a little, bigger than 200 pounds. That's going to be a guy that, the emphasis is going to have to be wrap him up and get him to the ground. You're not going to arm tackle him. I think he is probably or possibly their best offensive player, if not one of, the two. So right. I think getting pressure on him when he's dropping back to pass or rolling out to pass, that's going to be paramount. And then when he decides to take off and run, we're going to have to be sound in the tackling game. We're going to have to wrap up and get him to the ground. You don't want to let him extend plays. Correct. And, hurt you with the stuff that's unscripted.
Right.
So one thing that you were mentioning earlier about personnel, and we didn't really see him any in week 1 against Roane County, but one thing I saw us utilize a lot more was the pitch with Cameron Parker, and we had 3 plays that went 20-plus yards, and it worked great. Do you think there might be more plays, maybe not exactly like that, but plays along that line where you'll be able to utilize more this week because you've kind of got this young team a little bit more under wraps and they've got more experience under their belt?
Well, this is Coach Workman's 9th season at Liberty. He's an experienced football guy. He's got a good staff. I know Coach Montgomery over there. They're smart. They've watched film.
Yes.
They're going to be prepared for the that sweep play that we ran with Cameron last week. I'm not saying that we can't do that again, can't be successful with it. It's all on how you set it up and how you run things to get to that point, and that's really what we did last week. We got it a little, we kind of hit them off tackle, hit them in the middle, whatever, even with some quarterback ISO and things. And then when you're bringing him in motion like that, then we were able to get him outside. I'm sure they'll be cognizant of that, so it won't be easy. But Cameron also is he's pretty quick.
Yes,
and if everything, if all the metrics of the play play out right, I'm sure we can get him the football and that he can go out there and do that again.
And that's the beautiful part about this team is we have several guys that are able to go up the middle, whether it's inside zone, or a couple guys, whether it's a pitch or a sweep, and they're able to make it to the outside and beat the other teams with speed. We may not be as big of a team and as huge of a team as we've had in years past, such as 2 years ago when we made it to the state title game, but we still have guys and we still have players. And quite frankly, we have experience at O-line with the ability to make big plays like that. So that's one thing that's going to mean a lot to this team. So outside of Cameron and those big plays, consistently Ben Butler, he's been doing a lot, being able to be elusive, especially in the run game, but he's unfortunately had to take some plays off with injury both of the past 2 weeks. Do you think that's going to be an issue this week, or has he been pretty good in practice?
Well, I'll just say, in week one, losing him as early as we did,
Yes.
It was a shot to both our offense and our defense. He did everything that he was supposed to do, and he was cleared, and he played last week, and he played really well. Scored a rushing touchdown. He ran a punt back for a touchdown. He would tell you this. Yeah, he got beat for a touchdown pass one time there, but he also made 10 unassisted tackles. And one with an assist. He led the team in tackles last week. When you look at him and the way he did things, he was the most fundamentally sound defender that we had out there, the way he does it. So, I see Ben being a big part of what we do this Friday night. I don't see him being limited by any injuries or, not trying to pace him in any way, just the normal pace of the game.
Yes.
He's going to get his carries. And then defensively, he's going to be counted on to kind of shut down one side of the field there for us.
Yes, and that's one thing huge, too, for the players is to see a leader like Ben Butler being able to make it onto the field. And it's really cool for me to say leader because he's only a sophomore. It's not like he's one of these older players. He's a kid that has really picked up the role this year, and he's been able to do things not only fundamentally, as you were saying, at tackling, but he's also done things as a leader. And
so from a leadership aspect, I can tell you at least 2 times this week after practice, Ben stayed with another sophomore player that is not getting varsity minutes.
Yes.
And he just shared personally how he does things. He showed him, how he gets off the line of scrimmage and how he breaks into his pass routes and things like that. And he helped that kid. I won't name the other guy.
Yes.
But, he really trying to help bring along a fellow player. And then we had another youngster out there, a freshman quarterback who stayed out there with Colton Dunbar, who put in two extra hours of work after practice.
Not surprising at all.
This young man stayed out here and played wide receiver, and then he jumped over there with those two, and he played quarterback. So we've got players that are invested now. We're not twisting their arm. They're staying on their own, and they're doing the extra work, I think, that it takes to be successful.
Yes, and that's one thing that means a lot to these players is having your senior leaders stay after practice, put in the time and effort with them because it shows that they care. These guys, let's just be real, there's a couple of these seniors at the beginning of the year that weren't going to play. They weren't planning on playing, and then they decided at the last second that, hey, let's give this thing another shot. Don't want to miss out on football my senior year, and they've come in and they've helped those players, and that really does mean a lot, not only to the players, but you guys as well.
Yeah, they don't like it. I kind of kid them a little bit.
I was
It's
gonna
almost
say,
like
yeah.
an NFL situation where those guys want to. They don't really want to participate in the OTAs, but they want to play football.
Yes, exactly.
And don't let me paint the picture that they didn't work hard.
Yeah.
They were doing things on their own. And they were working out.
Yes.
They just might not have participated in everything that we did. We were very glad to have everybody that came back and came out, and they're all going to play a part in our success this year.
Exactly. I'm super excited to see what we end up doing next week against Liberty Raleigh, and want to know every week. That's the motto, and that's our job to go out there and win this game. But, Coach, I appreciate you for spending some time with me and Roger, and, yeah, I'm super excited for tomorrow.
Oh, I am too. And, we take our season, we take it on a week-to-week basis,
Absolutely.
game to game. It is exciting to go over here and play Liberty because we have not played them before, and they have been somebody that we have kind of chased after really over the past 15 or 20 years. It's a school that they're close in proximity. We play them in baseball. We played them in basketball.
Just haven't played them in football.
Wrestling, they've had some epic wrestling matches. So it's a school that's similar in size, and I think similar in the style of athlete, the upbringing,
Yes.
the blue collar atmosphere, whatever. So it's a game that I think will be a great matchup for the fans
Yes.
on both sides.
I love that. And one last question I'm going to ask you, and this kind of leads into something you were alluding to earlier. What is something that Liberty Raleigh reminds you of from a team's perspective, so the fans can kind of get an idea of what is, say for instance, if they were a lot like James Monroe, they would be like James Monroe. What is a team that Liberty Raleigh plays a lot alike on film?
Well, really, I mean, if you were there to see get in their formations offensively, if you would just put them in blue and gold uniforms, you would think that looks a lot like Greenbrier West right there. Just when you see what they like to do, I don't know. It's like, somebody was passing out playbooks and said, you get this one, and oh yeah, you get the same one. So here you go. Then, you get in a situation like that. There was a
Yes.
famous coach that used to say, I can beat yours with mine, and I can beat mine with yours. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Yeah, I was looking at some stuff earlier before the game, and I think it's going to be a very close matchup this week. So, Coach, I appreciate your time very much. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Yes,
Thank
sir,
you,
brother.
Roger.
Coach.
Go Cavaliers.
Let's do it. Guys, that was Coach Mike Goddard of the Greenbrier West Cavaliers. And, Roger, I think we got an exciting game to look forward to tomorrow, man.
I can't wait till tomorrow night, guys.
No.
Friday Night Lights. Is there anything better?
No, there isn't.
I don't think so.
I mean, this is coming from a big basketball guy. There's nothing like watching the kids run out on Friday Night Lights and hyping each other up and the crowd yelling at you. There's nothing like it.
No, basketball games are great. Softball games are awesome, but Friday Night Lights are amazing.
All right, sounds good. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching this evening. I'm going to go ahead and give one more quick shout out to our sponsors, Rayno Medical Center, excellent healthcare right at home, Park Center Sporting Goods, Steve's Towing, I won't charge an arm or a leg, all I want is a tow, RT Rogers Oil Company, Tattered and Warren Antique Mall in Lewisburg, and then Stevens Automotive in Lewisburg with associates Caleb Ward, Eddie Mitchell, Eric Workman, Chase Barton, and Garrett Schaefer. And then, of course, you got to thank the Moose Lodge as well.
Absolutely. Thank you to the Raynell Moose. We can't say that enough for what they do for these kids.
No, we can't.
It's just absolutely amazing. Great venue.
It absolutely is. Well, Roger, I appreciate you for coming out again this week. This is Matthew Thomas.
And Roger Bennett.
With the
Greenbrier
Valley
Channel
Channel
Sports Network. Thank you so much for watching.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Let's go.